Upon arriving at its mission destination, the attacker's army is deployed against the defenders. Both armies are divided into 3 battle lines: the front line, the archery line, and the artillery line. The front line and the archery line are divided into center and 2 flanks. They contain all of the soldiers. The bulk of these soldiers form the front line. All of the melee units are grouped there: swordsmen, spearmen, and cavalry. In every battle, 10% of these melee troops, proportionally taken from among all units, are always held back in reserve. They will join the fray when one of the frontline groups has succumbed to the enemy. The default formation of the armies breaks down the front troops as follows: 15% in each flank and 60% in your center. To change these values, the player must assign a different formation before the battle. Formations are unlocked in the capital through research. They grant the ability to change your flank-center ratio and may be very useful depending on the player's army compositions. To make the best choice of formation against a given enemy, the player had better spy his enemy before the battle and thus establish his army composition. Each unit type has a priority positioning on the front line according to its best performance. From flank to center, the priority order of the units is cavalry first, followed by spearmen, and finally swordsmen. If the amount of troops exceeds the size of the division, positions will change. Behind the front line is the archery line. It is split into flanks and center. Archers are split between the 3 positions, with no archer reserve set aside. Archers' positions also depend on the choice of formation. For example, a flank archer's formation will be advisable when the enemy has no cavalry, but plenty of spearmen. Spearmen are strong on the flanks, however vulnerable to archers. If boosted enough on the flanks, the archers can easily destroy all of the enemy's spearmen. At the back of the army, the siege engines are deployed. Rather ineffective against enemy soldiers, but a perfect fortress destroyer. Terrain, skills of the general, colony bonuses, and military technologies can influence the army's performance. In the chaos of war, however, there is one thing that is even more decisive to the outcome of a battle than the strength of arms: the soldier's morale. The more damage the troops suffer, the more morale they lose. When its value drops beneath 50, there is a growing chance that each following loss will rout the division. Some of the troops from a routed division may return after the battle, but many of them will desert the army permanently. Since the morale loss can be fatal for the attacker's troops, it is of no consequence for the defender's fortress garrison troops. When they are besieged, they have nowhere to run and will gloriously fight to death.